one, we are going to be talking about Manchester United.
Amorim. Okay.
You know, Amorim would be part of the problem, but you could say, in a general sense, what's wrong with United?
Okay.
Yeah. So, what is wrong with Manchester United, the greatest club in England? You could say in the whole world as well. So.
Man, I think, okay, last season I said, Amorim is not there. I feel like he needs you can't just throw a guy with a whole completely different new system. And of which Ten Hag was already suffering. Fire Ten Hag, you bring a guy who needs a whole revamp. Some players probably that fit his style, all that. Yeah. I feel like they've given him some players now to work with them. When was good as whatnot. So I'm now judging Amorim now officially. Like this season, and I'll give him like up to date to really gauge and see like, man, is there any improvement? Is there any vision yet to like? Is there any truth to this vision? That's when I'll know in deck. Like right now, okay, I know the guys are still suffering, but like I saw Manu play against Arsenal, and I was like, man, these guys look like they're going somewhere. They look like they're going somewhere.
Progress.
Yeah. But man, when Grimsby stuff up with that, no, like what? Hey, 1 step in front, 5 behind. I'm like, man. But Amorim, I just don't know whether that works because it's not really a money thing. Right? So but I respect him for sticking to like what he knows. I respect him for that, but in sticking to what you know, you have to make it work. Like it has to work. Yeah. So now, I think 10 games in, that's when I'll now start issuing my report card for Ruben Amorim. Yeah. But as for now, man, I think man, you should stick to him. You wouldn't want to buy all the players for that guy. Then now you fire him again. This is how my guy also comes with philosophy. Now he wants new players. Like, right now, it's for sticking to the plan. I guess if things don't work out by deck, fire Amorim. That's my.
I have a question right there. Would you say Ineos, right, has backed Amorim?
I would.
Yeah. They have splashed the cash.
Splashed enough cash.
Probably not. There's still areas to be splashed. But they have definitely tried to.
Given that United was also struggling financially, and they've given him all that.
Yeah,
like that's
the damn for Cisco.
Last season, man, all those games, man, you can't lose all those games.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
And
right now,
they don't push you out.
Right now, I feel like that backing was misplaced.
How do you mean?
Like, why would you back Amorim without him proving his ability to maybe implement his principles? Because he came in pretty early. I think.
But he had done it at Sporting.
No, like United, this team.
So I remember before they got him there, that Sporting team that he had built had just killed City.
Yeah.
Okay, but sorry, continue.
Yeah, I know. They're just done that, but I feel like the contexts are a bit different. You know, this is United. You're talking about. You mentioned it's one of the biggest clubs in the world. They're going to come and play back five soccer. We want to see United play dominant soccer. Front-footed soccer. We want United to come and possess a guy 65%, suffocate the box, create chances. Like, don't give, for example, you've seen City, a whole half and Brighton has created just an inch of a chance, basically, because they are dominating them that much. But the thing with United, Amorim is not managing to do that, and I think the back five or back three system has limited him to an extent. But then I think United is not. We can't look at Amorim alone. We have to look at the whole United. Like Ten Hag clearly has issues. He wins an FA, you leave him on. Then you bring in a new coach who is now having issues as well. So you're already looking for another coach. But you had a chance to get rid of Ten Hag, get up. There were so many. I think there were coaches moving that season, that time. Conte was available, though I don't buy into his ideas so much. But why would you let Thomas Frank go to Tottenham? That's a proven coach with a side. He brought it back from Championship. made them solid and competitive in the Premier League. You could see that the football was there, but you let that happen, then you get Amorim, and Amorim is struggling. Me personally, I don't see him being there. I don't see him, though it's too early. I agree, it's a bit early, but I really don't see.
It's not looking good.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him.
Me, I look at Manchester United, and it feels like a very toxic environment just throughout, right? I mean, it's difficult for the manager, it's difficult for the players, it's difficult for the background staff, and it's difficult for the owners. The whole situation just feels so difficult for everyone, from top to bottom, right? I feel like if they just got one part of the team solidified, right? It doesn't mean, I actually don't even think it needs to be the manager, right? But if they just got like one part, if like let's say it's the scouting, you get it. They need to get a niche to their play. They need to get a niche to their identity as a club, and they need to leverage on that. You get it, so that others can feed off that. Because if they just, it has been going so bad, like a downward spiral for United over the years since Ferguson left. Right, they've changed managers, they've changed ownership, they've changed players for days. You get it. They need one guy to just click. You get it. They need one guy to click, and then they can leverage that. It has been difficult because United as a club has always been, for me, I think they've always just focused on the manager, you get? Because their identity was, Ferguson, you get it? And Ferguson would lead the whole ship, right? So when he left a vacuum, not just the manager, you get it? He left a vacuum in his responsibilities going down the board, in the eyes of the players, in the eyes of the fans, in the eyes of, you get it, of everyone. And there's a disconnect. The fans still think back to the glory days. Yeah. The players think of United as a big team, you get it, without actually putting in mind what made United a big team, you get it. Or, okay, I'm sure they're professionals and they put it in mind, but it's not embedded within the culture of the club. At least I didn't see it. You get it. They say it, but you don't feel it. You get it.
So let me ask you a question then.
Yeah.
From the United you're describing, right?
Yeah.
What does the current system need to do to change to get back to that? Would you say Ineos hasn't really made steps? Because when you talk about scouting, you talk about all those other departments that really form the whole thing together. We've really tried to recruit some of the best in this position.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Scouting heads, Wilcox has come in, Richard Arnold, Brailsford, so many people from Ineos are doing so many things at this point. So I could say some of these things we've taken steps to curing some of these things. Right?
Yeah.
So now, at this point in time, what do we really need? Because we need the midfield. We need the midfield, right? But after the midfield, what next? Because if we are not looking into the future to try and see where the next problem is going to come from, by the time that problem happens, we shall already be somewhere we don't want to be because of that problem.
Now, that's what I'm thinking. Like, you see, this is what I'm saying. You need a result. You get, okay, like, I'll give an example for Arteta, right? When Arteta came to Arsenal, right? It's not like he was all of a sudden. Arsenal was actually going bottom half of the table with Arteta at some point, if you remember clearly.
Yeah.
There's a point where you're going bottom half, right? Then, all of a sudden, these things just started clicking, right? Yeah. It was just one shift, bro. Just one shift. They just brought in Gabriel Jesus, they brought in Zinchenko, they brought all those Man City guys. Then, boom, it just clicked. And then once they started, the fans had been waiting for this for so long. The players had been waiting for this for so long, like the Xhakas and so on. They've been there for years. They had the quality, but it was just not clicking. You get it?
Yeah, but
the second it started, it just didn't stop. That's what I think United
from that point.
Just that.
Arteta's rebuild was more prove to us what you can do. Everyone could see what, before they actually backed him, that there was that season when he missed out on Champions League. I think by a few. Then the next season, he showed them now this is what I can do. Yeah, and of course, from the basics, the results matter, but also I think results you need to, because now Burnley United had a win over Burnley, but anyone will say that there were issues with the team. So results in certain contexts also don't really matter a lot. You need to do we see what you're doing? Like, is there a progress?
Yeah.
Do you have the principles? Are players understand? Are your principles also good enough to actually push us? And me, that brings me back to Amorim. As in, Amorim has had a long time. Okay, not a long time, but
2 years is not really.
It's not really that long, bro.
He hasn't really had
This guy found a wrecked ship and was told to patch it up.
Yeah.
This season, like you said, this season
I would rather just put last
season is out of my head.
Maybe judging Amorim starts this season.
this season.
You're being given sample players to work with.
Okay.
Guys have played in your system for quite some good amount of time. You've had a full preseason now. I think the judgment now starts now.
Okay.
That's the first leave last season.
There's a
bit
notion
too much
I want to
to
disapprove of the thing of being backed, right? To be honest, I need midfielders. I needed attackers. Fine, you've given me attackers. I need midfielders. So you're not going to send me into the season, and then you want me to produce magic without a midfield.
No, Bruno doesn't
You
want to
haven't
leave.
backed me.
Bruno didn't want to leave.
But best of the
Casemiro doesn't
outgoings.
want to leave. Bro, Kobe Mino.
It's not about the outgoings. Let's first be the
Nobody
outgoings.
has
Because you've already lost Eriksen,
Yeah.
right? That's a midfielder you haven't replaced,
Yeah.
right? You lost Scotty McTominay the other window. You never signed a midfielder still. So you have 2 midfield spots that are free.
PSR, bro. With all those wages, you can't just sign anyone.
and that's-
We've moved on Rasmus, right?
Good enough.
We're moving on Anthony.
Yeah,
We're
but it's
free
late.
now.
But
It's
that
space.
goes back to Ineos. As in, you guys went and spent 60M on what? Euro or something? Like, look at where you probably.
Euro
Yeah,
I mean, but
Euro was needed and he's perfect.
But I mean, the priorities are not really.
Might think you have to prioritize for it more because check, you lost Garnacho, you lost Rashford,
Garnacho.
Sancho is out, Anthony is out, basically Rasmus out, 5-6 attackers are all going out. Definitely you have to break them down for Sesko, Buemo, Cunha. They had to
And your
do it.
midfielders that.
And their
No,
midfield
midfield
isn't the
doesn't
best, but you
Doesn't
can
have
ask
legs.
a bit
You
for
have-
now.
Okay.
No,
For a back
okay.
three, our midfield is nothing.
Yes. You need more
You've
energy.
seen from last
and
season,
more
our
intensity.
midfield gets overrun every
Yeah.
single game. That box midfield doesn't work for United because
Yeah.
the 3 midfielders who we have, in my view, our top 3 midfielders are Bruno, Kobe, and Casemiro. So if you find a way of fitting those 3 in your midfield, it can work. But Amorim plays a midfield too. He doesn't need the 3rd midfielder. So the 3rd midfielder, that space they cover, both of these 2, Kobe and Casemiro, they're not the most athletic and gifted people
Exactly.
to cover all this ground.
Yeah.
So unless you give me 2 new midfielders that can play in this system, because the current double pivot we have is suited to play in a back 4.
Yeah.
That's it.
That is Bruno.
That's Bruno,
and
Casemiro, and Kobe.
Let me ask, as a fan, don't you think there's a problem with playing Bruno in that pivot?
Yes, there is.
It's not his favorite
It's not his
position,
thing.
and
It's not-
his defensive capability is also not there. You can see in the last Fulham game where we considered Emil Smith Rowe's goal. Yes, he was tracking him from the midfield, but when he entered the box, it's like he lost all his senses. He left him to go.
So why isn't he playing Kobe somewhere there?
Maybe
That's the
because
$1 million
Kobe
question.
also died now. I don't think also like what he said. I don't think he has the legs to be
Yes.
running around
Up and down.
because
That
those
space
2
is
guys
too
really have
much
to
to
be
cover.
running around. First, when we played that thing, it was Kante and I think Matic.
Yes.
Who were there. They even
Kovacic.
first told Fabregas to first sit.
I think it was Kovacic, right?
No, under
Matic
Conte.
and-
Under
and-
Conte.
Yeah.
Under Conte, it was Matic and Kante. Those guys had legs on them. And they Fabregas also had to sit at that point. So I understand. I actually like Kobe Mino a lot, but I can see why he probably didn't want to lose.
Actually, me and
You need to like be.
Yeah.
You need to cover a lot of ground, and I don't think Kobe that's like his best attribute.
His best
I
attribute is
prefer
Like
being
when on the
as a
ball,
10,
receiving, playing in
Mount.
between spaces.
Yeah, I prefer Kobe like where Mount plays. I think I use the okay. I watch more Liverpool games, but Remember the game? The 2-2, I think. Is it 2-2 or 2-1?
Yeah.
At
Old
OT.
Trafford, yeah.
Yeah, bro. There was that. He can dribble.
Yeah.
That guy can dribble.
Close control.
His problem is that long pass. That pass that breaks lines. He can't do that.
Yeah, he
Actually,
can't do that.
but
He's
United.
developing that. That's
Yeah,
it.
but United wants things to happen now. You get not develop towards that now. Kobe,
So
we know you can.
how am I going to develop that pass yet I'm 20% or 80% of the time I'm on bench? I'll be
Exactly.
practicing it on the,
However,
on the training
I still don't
field.
think United has, apart from you don't have anyone who can consistently make those passes.
Yeah.
Apart from
Let me ask you
and that's where
a
your
question.
midfield loses. Because if you had someone who had legs and could do that,
The problem is Manu Ugarte cannot pass a ball to save his life. So sorry.
I never forgotten about that guy.
He's a very good tackler. He can win the ball back. He can do all that. But when he has the ball, what does he do with the ball? Nothing. You try and drive with the ball, loses it. Try and passes it, loses it. Like,
Okay, I want to ask this.
yeah.
You guys are United. Do you when you foresee what United or what you want United to be like? Do you want it to be like a Man City, kind of Liverpool, a Chelsea? Because that also has to inform the coach, like what the coach you have. Because where you want to go is the coach going to.
How do you want to play?
so right now, I think it's trying to envision that Conte team that won the Premier. That's the back three that has really done anything in the Premier League across history. So I could say we're trying to real embody
Do
that
you think
Chelsea.
a back three can win the league?
If
The current
that's what I'm
EPL.
giving you. If Chelsea did it with the back three, why would the back three win the Premier League again?
You guys were, it was Wenger, no? The guys were there around. It was.
Wenger.
Was
I think Pep was.
Gardner had just come.
Or was it?
Pep was ready.
He had just
His
come.
first season. It was his first season. I
Yeah, his
remember
first
something
season.
like Pep was there.
Yeah, that was
Pep
Okay, it
Pep's
was that
first
season where
Klopp was
most
also
guys
there,
had
but he
like,
finished
most
seventh that
guys
season.
had new manager. But I think
Yeah.
Man had Mourinho.
So,
Pep,
That's what
yeah,
I'm
Conte.
asking. Do you think? Because if you look around, how many managers or clubs are really succeeding at very high levels and they're using a back three? You know, if you look at
Inter.
Napoli.
I mean, at high levels, European glory. You are European. You have the European glory to your side, or you are at least there in Europe competing. Then also in the league, because we know Premier League is the most competitive league in the world. I think we can know that. I don't know if you agree, but
Yeah,
Sure,
it is.
so
For sure.
I feel like right now, if you want to also have a chance, then adapt and learn with what others are doing. So, because even PSG doesn't use a back three, and you saw how they dominated Europe like a problem. They are not using a back three. They are using a back four with a basic back four principles. Of course, with a few adjustments here and there, but so me that's what I feel that is Amorim going to get you back to that level with his.
With his back
To
three.
be honest.
Because let me conclude. You see, even Alonso has changed, now going to a back four, right? At Madrid.
When he plays though, he leaves the back three.
I think when they defend their four, but
Yeah, when
when
you
they
move
attack
forward,
it,
yeah.
and they're like also Maresca's style.
Yeah, that's now, it always
Yeah.
changes. I said, no, everyone
Yeah,
does
yeah.
that. But I mean, there are the basic defensive structure will come back to the back four. Right? So, anyway, that's what I'm pondering about with Amorim.
He needs to be more flexible. He's still
Yeah.
rigid.
I think he needs to learn.
That's
learn. Because, that's where I agree with the time theory, time factor. He may learn and adjust.
so on a general consensus, everyone is backing Amorim, I think.
Yeah,
it's too early.
Give him time. Give him time.
Amorim,
It's too early. It's too early to start Amorim.
Is that genuine
Please.
backing?
You need to back Amorim 100%. That's my need.
As a fan,
Many people
I
are planning
cannot
to keep him there.
go through.
Amorim at the wheel.
All the way, man.
We can't afford another review.
That's what I'm saying. Stick with your guy. I mean, Arsenal stuck with that.
So we stick with him this season, even if we finish like 12th, it's okay.
I mean, no.
Will be an improvement.
An improvement. No, but seriously, if we reach around March 5th, and you see no signs of going up.
I feel like if you reach the 18th, 19th game and there's no good improvement, there's no sign of improvement. I think
To be honest, even then,
you should do it.
yes, we need to stick in.
Until it clicks.
Yes. It will click.
Wait for it.
It will click, I said.
You find yourself in a relegation battle, then you have to get through to
They've been there before, they can't come out. Last year they survived, but
you have to make sure like to get you out of that.
by the way,
Or
you can show Nike for
what's up?
Big Sam.
Big Sam.
So guys, you've had it from again. No big something.
Stick to Amorim.
So let us know your thoughts. Who the next coach for United might be, or if Amorim might actually stay.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Subscribe, like, and subscribe, please.
Yeah, peace out.